Let me ask about the border. Let me ask
Congressman,
about the border.
it's to make sure
Let me
we do
ask
the
about
oversight.
the border, so I reclaim my time. Do you think the United States has operational control of the border?
No, so you're asking me a question that's outside of HHS's
Do
jurisdiction.
you believe the United States has operational control of the border?
I think the U.S. government has done yeoman's work in trying to make sure that we can protect Americans.
Do you think that the United States has operational control of the border?
I think
US government.
the federal government is proving that we can manage the border.
What would a loss of operational control of the border look like?
I'm sorry?
What would a loss of operational control of the border look like? How would you define a loss of control if this is control?
So if we're leaning to something relating to the jurisdiction of my department, HHS, I'm more than willing to try to answer. Otherwise, I think you're more appropriately...
Well, HHS is more involved with the border than they've ever have been under this administration. So what would a loss of operational control of the border look like if this is control of the border?
Again, Carson, I could talk to you about my personal views, but if you wish to know what the federal government should be doing with regard to the border, I would urge you to continue to ask questions of the Department of Homeland Security.
The ORR, or Office of Refugee Resettlement, has lost contact with more than 85,000 migrant children in the last 2 years.
That's not true, sir. That's not true.
Well, what is the accurate status?
We've not
then?
lost contact with kids. Well, once we place those children, we lose jurisdiction over those kids. And so we can't lose people we don't have jurisdiction over.
Well, so what percentage of the 85,000 would you say that your department has followed up with in the last 2 years?
We try to follow up with every child that we place in the custody of a vetted sponsor. Whether the child or the sponsor choose to reply or respond to our efforts to reach them is another matter, because Congress did not give us the authority to make them respond to us. So we reach out to every child. We try to contact the child. We try to contact the sponsor. It's no guarantee that we're going to get that child or sponsor to respond to our overtures.
There's reports that migrant children have been found working in slaughterhouses, operating machinery, doing other hard labor jobs. Yes. Do you believe your department's adequately screening UACs?
I don't believe that these children are receiving the oversight protections when an employer or a company is violating their labor rights. But we don't have jurisdiction to try to enforce against violations of child labor laws. That's not within our jurisdiction. Even the Department of Labor would tell you they don't have enough resources and personnel to go out there and inspect all these work sites the way they should. In
a recent oversight committee hearing, the ORR director admitted that only a third, or 37%, of UACs ended up with a parent. Do you agree with that assessment?
I think that number is pretty accurate, that about a third of the kids that we place are placed directly with the parent. And if those kids aren't placed with the parent, the chances are they're being placed with a close relative of that child.
Biden plans to rescind the Trump rule exempting individuals and entities from the contraception mandate on moral convictions. Given that the District Court for the District of Columbia decision in March for Life versus Burrell, how does your department's proposed rescission not violate the Constitution and religious liberties?
I'm sorry, can you state the question again?
I'm out of time. I'll yield back, Chairman.
The gentleman can submit his question, and we can ask a response in writing from the Secretary. Ms.